Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the podcast formerly known as Random Encounters, episode 8, maybe 7, 3,
Who
something
knows?
like that.
Who knows?
I'm Dan, joined as always by not drinking a big cup of coffee, Steve,
Hi.
playing with his pussy Mex.
We are real Chevy customers, not paid actors.
And anime titties, Jeff.
This is the worst
was-
series of intros that I've ever
The thing is, I didn't actually think of anything. I usually have a
Oh,
little
I'm
list.
sorry.
And
Were we doing intros? I was drinking my water.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that Jeff ever said on this podcast was anime
And
titties.
You have no proof. There's a stick figure version, a rendering, a likeness of myself that said it's a strategy game and big old anime titties. Could have been me. Could have been somebody else. There's a lot of people coming and going in this podcast.
Never met the guy before, and he's dumping big old anime titties right in the first episode.
You're missing
good
a nickname
feel.
for yourself too.
So, guys, what have we been playing this week? Steve, let's start with you.
Well, I'm on week 2, 3. I don't know how long it's been. It's kind of a blur that I've been playing Ghost Recon Wildlands because it was on sale during the, I don't know what it was, Chinese Lunar New Year, something like that. And I think that game came along at just the opportune time where I was feeling in the mood for a shooter, and I'd found out that you can play straight solo, and I've been having just a total blast with it, except now I hit 2 major snags this
You
week.
were telling me about this earlier today. What's going on?
Yeah, so if you don't know anything about the game, it's basically GTA Bolivia. Like, it's got the same open world format. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want, and then as you cross over into different regions, they're like, this guy's the drug smuggler, and then you like move 5 feet and you're in the different region. You're like, and over here we've got the drug manufacturer, and you can do the missions per region. You can get intel, find weapons and whatnot. But there's like 4 or 5 regions that don't have bad guy missions. They have like weird separate missions that are going on, and some of them are tie-ins to other games. And I wandered into one section where immediately they get on and a guy goes, there's somebody who's been looking for you, and it's Sam Fisher from the Splinter Cell series, and he's in the game, and he's like, I'm here doing a one-off mission and I'm looking for your team to help me. Meet me here at 2100 hours. And that's the mission. You have just started it, no matter what. Every other mission in this entire fucking game you can go to and start at your own volition. But this one, as soon as you cross that border, the mission is active. And as soon as the clock clicks down to 2100, they're like, okay, go meet him right now. And I was like, fine, I'll just get this out of the way. If you don't get there in time, you fail the mission and they restart you with that time back on the clock. You are forced to complete the mission. And the mission is one of these really awful, here's an entire military camp. You're not allowed to kill anybody. Nobody can see you. Get to the middle of it where Sam Fisher's on the 2nd floor of this building hacking a computer. And I've spent like 2 hours figuring out how the fuck to sneak into this thing. And it's also like jammed, so you can't send up one of your little drones to like find everybody. I was having a miserable time doing it. And you get to him, he's like, oh, I hacked this thing, but now I got to hack the universe, and everybody in the planet is going to know, and they're all going to come at us at once. So cover me. And I got like a million dudes, fucking attack helicopters raining hell on this tower. And I'm just sitting there, just immediately got killed. So you have to sneak into the whole fucking place again. You have to listen to his whole goddamn spiel about hacking, and just to get wiped out again. And I got so frustrated because you can't just leave and go to another region, because as soon as that time clicks back down, you fail the mission, get teleported right back to the spot. You are stuck in this mission like a goddamn limbo. So I eventually just like activated all of my idiot AI companions so they could pick me up. I opened a crate that had an M60 machine gun, which was better than anything I had, and I was avoiding it, so I took that with me. I lowered the game difficulty to like idiot mode, and I just tried to like get through it, and I beat it, like that area, and they're like, okay, congratulations, you have the information. Go 25 miles that way to the extraction point. And the attack helicopters never stop spawning, so they're just firing missiles at me as I'm running on foot, because every time I got near a vehicle, they'd blow it up. And I blew them both up, tried to hijack a helicopter, and they blew it out of the sky, and I almost just quit the game forever then, until I watched some guy do it on YouTube, and as soon as the hack was over, his little like wanted rating dropped, and the helicopters didn't come, so my game bugged. My game bugged,
geez.
and I couldn't fucking finish it. So I tried it again, finally got through with it, and I was like, that is the worst piece of game design I've ever seen. Because I was like at a pretty decent level when I walked in, maybe like 14 out of 30. So I had equipment, I had good weapons, and I had a bunch of like skills like bullet resistance and better grenades. But you could have theoretically walked into that mission and activated it at like level 2, because all you have to do is cross that random border, and you'd be fucked. Like, you'd have no choice and no chance. And I was like, that is horrible game design.
Yeah, you almost have to patch that out. Do the enemies scale with you in that game, or are they kind of just set?
No, because they're set by like the region that you're in, and they're probably at like a 2 or 3 out of 5 star at that location. But once you hit level 30 in the game, you can activate this mode called Tier 1, and you stop gaining experience for levels and you start gaining experience for your tiers. So you'll slowly work your way backwards from 30 to 1, and along the way you get higher bonuses for collecting resources, and you can use the resources to upgrade your weapons to keep up with the new enemies that show up. So that makes the game more difficult, but you can activate that at will, or like freeze it at a certain tier. But that was probably one of the worst game experiences I've had in the past like 10 years, because it was an unavoidably awful thing in a so far stellar game, and I can't believe they did that. As soon as I looked up that mission, it was full of posts all over the place that are like, this mission is ruining the game for me, because there's people who did legitimately accidentally walk into that zone at too low level, couldn't beat it, and they gave up on the game. And I was like, how do you do that? Why can't you have like, hey, there's this mission,
like a quit mission button?
Yeah, or you know, at the very least, like when you cross the border of the military base, then start the mission, you know. But that was awful. The only other downside to playing this game so far is there's a lot of work with the shift and control key. If you've ever played hardcore PC games, like every time you get into a helicopter, up and down is shift and control. Every time you run around, shift is run, control is sneak, and you're sneaking the entire game. And it's getting to the point where I'm holding down those buttons so much that like I'm losing feeling in my pinky finger, and it's cramping up really bad, and it's actually getting difficult to play the game for long periods of time. And I don't know if it's because it's my keyboard, because this one's a little less than ideal.
You have an old man pinky. This is a kid's game. They have nice, flexible, nimble pinkies that can hold down keys for long periods of time.
Yeah, like it got to the point where I was like, why is my pinky cold? And I'm like, it's losing circulation from like constantly mashing this button. My old keyboard that I actually kind of like, even though it was crappy, broke, and I'm using this sort of like fake mechanical keyboard, which I think has harder springs in it, and it's not helping with having to constantly hold down these buttons with just the weakest finger on your hand. So
you gotta get some of those like hand exercise things and start practicing. You'll get better.
I know what you're talking about. It sucks, but hearing it sounds like the least sympathetic story I've ever heard.
My pinky hurts.
And I can't play my game.
Yeah, but if you can't fucking sneak, or you can't like actively hit the button to make the helicopter go, and you just smash into a tree and you're like, fuck, then yeah, like
I have a Microsoft Sidewinder like joystick from 1994 that you could use. That probably would work. Do you have a serial port on your PC?
Or a time. You got one of those?
I don't think I do. I think I had one in my old one.
The suspense in chat has been killing everyone. What have you been playing this week?
He played 2 things this week.
Who, me?
Yeah, I said Max.
Oh, Pokemon. What else? I guess we played Smash on Saturday, right?
We did.
You
We did.
played Smash.
I
That's
mean,
a
Dan
fourth
played
place.
Smash. I watched a lot of Smash because I am awful at the game. But yeah, I played a couple levels of Mario Odyssey also that you left.
Nice.
Whoa,
Nice.
whoa.
What do you
That's a
What do
nice,
you think?
Nice
What do
change
you
of
think,
pace.
man?
I don't know. If you take the Joy-Cons off, I guess you get extra stuff to do. Is that right?
Yeah, you have like you can do everything that you can with the Joy-Cons attached, but there's a little bit more freedom in like whipping the cap around and doing the
Yeah.
vertical cap throw and
Yeah,
things like that.
I'm playing in handheld mode, and I think I beat like the first 2 levels or something. It took me a while to figure out you're supposed to throw the hat like on top of stuff to like do stuff. So I'm like
The
sitting
main
there, I'm
mechanic
like,
of the game.
yeah, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what am I supposed to do here? But yeah, I mean, it's all right. I'm probably not gonna sit there and play it for 20 hours straight, but maybe a
It's a
couple
mistake.
hours here and
It's
there.
a really good game.
It is
it?
a good game.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just haven't played
Also-
a Mario game since like Super Mario 3, so I don't know.
Is this your first 3D Mario game? Like you didn't play 64 or Sunshine?
Nope.
Galaxy?
Nope.
I think this is a pretty good entry point.
I want to know your backstory. Like, what happened to you as a child that you missed out on Mario 64?
I didn't have a Nintendo 64. That's what happened.
No friends with Nintendo 64s? Or
Did you have one, Steve?
No.
I don't think Phil had one either.
I went from Super Nintendo to PlayStation because I followed the Final Fantasy franchise, so I never had. Well, then I went to like PS2 and GameCube.
Yeah, I mean, I had a Sega, then I had a PlayStation. Like that was the jump for me.
Yeah, you had like an exact opposite childhood than I did. I had
Wow.
all Nintendo like the entire time.
I did have the Jaguar also, so
Yes,
yeah.
can't forget
I
about
feel
that.
like a dip next to a Genesis, an NES, an N64,
Yeah.
2 PS1s, a Dreamcast, a Super Nintendo,
No,
You were the
but,
rich.
a couple Wii's are over there.
I updated the layout for Pokemon and I added some incentives. So
Yes, I saw that.
that'll be
I saw
something fun to play with.
I
in the
saw
future.
that. Only $10 to shiny hunt Chansey. That's
Well, at first it was $25, but then Mayan brought up a good point. Who the hell's gonna pay $25 to watch me shiny hunt Chansey? So at $10 is more manageable, I guess.
I guess, but I can see people, and by people I
Hey.
mean like my ghost accounts, just constantly using our own money to pay you $10
Yeah,
to
don't
get
do that,
shiny hunt
because-
Chansey the entire time.
PayPal takes a cut of that, so don't do that.
What's
You
your
make
current?
negative money?
What's your count at now? I haven't been able to get onto your stream.
I'm at 127 out of 150.
And are they all like the really shitty ones where you have to keep resetting? Over and over again?
Only 4 of those are left.
Okay.
So
All
it's,
right.
not, it's not too bad.
You're gonna
Yeah.
do it. How long is it gonna take?
Oh, I don't know, forever.
Well, I mean, it's gonna take even longer because he put a goal on that once we hit 500 followers, he's going to give away all of like the reset Pokemon he already has.
But I am at that point in another game, so I'm actually like hunting them right now because I'm assuming I'll
Yeah.
give them away like either this Sunday or next Sunday. Probably next Sunday.
Yeah, we're closing in on 500. Where are we at? 416.
I think it's like
16.
4, yeah. So probably not going to hit there this week, but next week probably.
That'll be exciting. Have you decided how you're going to give those shinies away yet?
It'll
or
probably just be like random through Nightbot.
there you go.
I don't
Jeff,
think
what
it's
do you-
fair to do a trivia giveaway for those. 'Cause,
Yeah, your latency really has a lot to do with.
yeah.
Jeff, what have you been playing? You're my last hope for some variety.
I have played multiple things. Didn't feel like counting about halfway through the list. So this weekend I learned that I'm really bad at Smash.
Me too.
Like,
You're
real
preaching
bad
to the
at
choir.
Smash.
You're preaching to the choir.
And I got called out for my lag. And the one time I got called out for my lag, I came in third. So thanks, lag, Comcast. Represent. No, it was a good time hanging out in the chat, lurking with people who were 16-year-old Norwegian teenagers and kicking the shit out of me at a video game. Sunday, I tried streaming my pinball table, but didn't
Yeah.
bother to set up a microphone, but just kind of more of a, can I do it? Like, make it not look like shit while I do it.
Dude, that was awesome. If you could have, if I could have asked you questions and actually had you like talk them back to me, I think I would have hung out for a lot longer because I have a lot of questions.
I was getting cocky because I didn't have my mic plugged in, so I had my phone on the table, and as I'm playing, I'm typing responses to people because I wasn't on camera, I wasn't on audio. I was still trying to.
You weren't wearing a shirt or anything, you know. You were just chilling out.
Well, when I wear shirts, I wear Penguin shirts.
Get that out of here.
My mom would be proud.
Because I know for a fact that Max is a Flyers fan, and he's never seen his team win a Stanley Cup. I've seen all of mine. Anyway, but yeah, I'll be doing a little more streaming on my pinball table on Twitch in the near future. Maybe putting my face out there once I figure out audio, because I was throwing myself off because I was watching my stream with the delay on my TV while playing it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I fuck up soon. But I'm trying to figure out and make sure like the audio levels of the table are right. And if a couple of the first tables, the visual pinball tables, were a little choppy, something with the refresh rate in the game. But yeah, I switched over to Zen's Pinball FX 3, and that ran buttery smooth. I'm going to be playing the hell out of that as I chase my brother's high scores. We have a friendly back and forth where I'll set a score that he can't beat, and then out of nowhere he'll like triple it. So then I like spend the next 3 months just like angrily playing Getaway 2, trying to beat it. What was that? I'm playing Wargroove, the same map, over and over again. I get to a point where you have to get off the map, you're being chased, and there's one move left that I make to win, or they make to win, and I forget to heal somebody, or I don't move a character and end my turn. And I've probably played like 6 hours this one friggin' map, driving me absolutely insane. But I wanted to play your 99 Tetris, but I'm like in standby mode on my next to last turn, so after this podcast I'll lose that. I played a little Persona 5 Dancing All Night because I'm a secret sucker for all things rhythm games.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Sama D'Amigo, which I played a lot of in my high school summers. Never picked up the Maraca controllers. My gamer bucket list is one of these days I'll pick that thing up and break out the Dreamcast again. But it's a lot of fun. It's a really good soundtrack for Persona. And it's just mindless. Tap, 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 tap. But they have you can use the PS4 trackpad to swipe. So instead of just hitting random buttons, you're still like DJ scratching on the turn or the touchpad. So I played about 5 or 6 songs of that last night when I finally sat down and relaxed before the power went out. And over the weekend, I got into some Forza Horizon 4. We finally got some multiplayer matches going, and it's a gorgeous game. It's a lot of fun. That online service is shit to play with your friends. Yeah, so it's broken down into 4 seasons, and me and my friend Justin were in winter, and my brother didn't get out of spring yet, so he couldn't join us in winter.
Well, because obviously it's a different season.
He's also at the age
he's got his snow tires on,
where he's quit on technology, so his knowledge is only up to this point, and then anything new just blows his fucking mind, and it aggravates him that he can't do it. So he's running the room, and we're trying to find races. We're telling him to like, all right, filter your map options down to just friends, and he's like, I see everybody, not just you. Or like, had him send me a screenshot of his settings, and he was looking for all online players, not online friends. We're like, all right, like you're 42, you're not that old, you can figure this out. But yeah, we had some fun racing around in that this weekend. But that'll put a bow on what I've played this week.
Good. I've been I was part of that same Smash stream that we did this weekend. I had a really good time. I need to find that junior guy and re-challenge him because I've done some research on Rosalina, and I think I'm ready.
You're gonna
So
get throttled.
So hopefully, I almost had him the first time, and he kicked the living piss out of me the second time. Once you figure me out, I'm not that hard to read. So
Ganondorf over there.
yeah, I do a lot of the old down B to close gaps, and that usually ends up biting me in the ass. And then I played Apex. We talked a little bit about it in the pre-show. I like it a lot. I'm very bad at it. I'd like to play with some people that I know and have them teach me how to freaking play the game, because I cannot get it through my head to run away from a battle. I just see people and I'm like, oh, I gotta gun them people down, even though they have way more shields and better guns than me, and then I'm dead. But it's a good game. I like it. I don't really like the battle royale genre, but this one is made by the people that made Titanfall, and Titanfall is an awesome game. So that's about really all.
Last week I told you I'd install it, so maybe this week I will, and next week we'll play it.
Yeah. It's completely free to play. The monetization is not aggressive at all. Like, you don't even really feel the need to do any of it, especially because it's third person. Like, you can't even see what your avatar looks like, so there's not really any reason to buy a skin for it. I'm really don't know if they're going to be able to monetize as well as Fortnite did. It's definitely doing very well. They said they had 25 million players with 2 million concurrent yesterday, I think it was. So doing well.
EA, but EA is not directly involved.
Yeah, it's Respawn. Respawn kind of gets a pass. Like, if it was anybody else, it's EA, microtransactions.
You know what's going to happen is whenever it does reach that success level, EA is going to look around their shoulder, go, oh, all right, we need some skins, we need some loot crates, some tags, and we need to get some money out of this.
Well, they have all that stuff in there. There's gun skins and yeah, okay, there we go. Like this map is for people that have skins only, and if you wear this skin, you have extra levels of shield. That's where they're going to break the game. If EA gets involved, that's what they're going to end up doing. But that's really what I've been doing. What's up, Steve?
They'll probably do player packs, because I think, if I'm
not
mistaken, two of the characters you have to pay for if you want to play.
Yeah, well, you can unlock them with in-game currency as well. So that is, it just takes a while.
Yeah, but we've seen a ton of games do that. Like a lot of the League of Legends MOBA clones, it's like you can either pay for a single character, you can grind out the whatever you need to, coins or diamonds, or you can just straight up buy them.
I'm a huge fan of like online multiplayer games being free to play. I don't know if I'm in the minority on that, but I'd like to see all of them be that way, because I guess I don't have the attention span for them, and I like to just jump into them for a weekend and get out. I don't feel like I get my $60 worth out of it by, playing these games the way I play them. So I really enjoy them being free.
That's
and I have
really the model all of these online only service games need to go in the future.
Yeah, it's
throw a couple ads in there, treat it like a mobile game. I don't care. Yeah. But if I pay $60 for a game I play for like 3 hours and get tired of it, that's why I can't go back to like Destiny or any of those kind of games. I don't enjoy them.
I think it would have to be the line of single player or multiplayer for me. I probably wouldn't spend nearly the amount of money, or I'd expect it to be free if I'm going to play anything with a multiplayer, because I know my ability to play that, and that the amount of time I'm going to is not going to be long enough to warrant spending like $20 or over on it. Whereas like a single player game, I'd put down $60 on a Dark Souls 4 if it popped up in the store tomorrow. Like I'd go sell something and go buy that game immediately.
Yeah. You have 2 kidneys.
Only
well, the big news of the day, we had a Nintendo Direct today, and most of us watched it. One of us didn't, so we're going to be able to see live reaction from Steve.
Watched 2/3 of it, so I get to be slightly surprised at the end as well.
Oh, there we go. So they came out hot right out of the gate. Mario Maker 2.
In.
I'm 100% in. It's the last thing that I have my Wii U hooked up for. There's like nothing left on there. I can finally pack it up and put it away, and I'm in. I'm a little surprised it's not a port, but looks like they're adding enough to warrant a 2, I guess.
Let's be honest. It's a port plus.
Yeah.
But I just want to take a moment to congratulate Nintendo on their continued innovation to video games. They added a sloped tile So we got hills now,
Oh yeah.
just like revolutionary. Like, name me one more game that has a sloped hill in it.
I can't.
Exactly.
I
Can't.
can't.
All this aside, though, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game.
Yeah, I
It'll
enjoyed Mario Maker 1 a lot.
It'll have more than 4 million potential Wii U owners making maps too. So
Yeah, that's the one thing that I didn't even think about until you just told me. Like there was nobody playing it on the Wii U.
you were too
And there's
blown away by hills. You were
Yeah.
like, oh shit, people are gonna actually play this.
Yeah,
one.
there's people with this game, and more people with this game means more awesome levels. So that's pretty exciting. So they we got a did we get a release date? No, we didn't get a release date.
June.
We had more. Yeah, we got a release. Yeah, June 2019 on Mario Maker 2, and then they rolled into Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 with some footage and showed some of the super attacks. It's Ultimate Alliance. It looks like a phone game, so I'm not really too happy about that.
I was gonna
It
say it looked
does,
super like jittery too.
Yeah,
So I don't
Does
know what that
oddly
was
look
about.
like garbage, but I'm gonna play it.
yeah. I mean, it's just a really fun style of game, and I'll probably that's probably not an instant buy $60, but maybe a $40 sale. That's probably something I'm gonna pick
It's
up.
one of those games that you can't really sell yourself on it by watching somebody else play it. You got to play it yourself.
I'd say that we definitely got a solid meh out of Steve for that one. His hands went behind his head. So let's see if we can fire him up with the next
That's
game on
a
the
good
list.
point, though.
I actually
like
have a
that.
question for you guys because
Oh,
we're
good.
on a thread here. For the superhero genre, like those movies have been coming out for what 10 years now. Has there been any half decent like game movie
Spider-Man.
tie-in from it? Yeah, but was that a tie-in or was that still
Not
just its own
really.
thing?
No, it's its own little. It's Marvel Game Studios. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything. But there's an Avengers game that they have announced that the guys over at Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, people that made Tomb Raider, they supposedly are making one.
When you
Um,
know that that's in the pipeline and exists, it makes this a lot harder to like get excited about.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, you'd think by now at least they would have got a hit off of one of the random ones where they're like, yeah, we've got a partnered game coming out with Thor Ragnarok, and then it actually turns out to be half decent. But
they
I
push
have
all that
heard-
stuff into the mobile space. That I think they've
have
learned
heard
from.
nothing about them at all.
I think they've learned from the past where most of the movie tie-in games have been hot garbage, so they're just not even trying anymore.
Well, I was thinking
Teenage
about that.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
I was thinking about that, and I put it on for one of the last weeks, and I was like, where did they go? And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh no, like when the original Thor came out, there was a Thor game. It hit the market, sold like 2 copies. Maybe it was a mobile. Nobody ever talked about it, and it just kind of fell off the radar. And I was like, have they been doing that the whole time? Or have they not been bothering? Or
no.
like, what happened?
Are we just gonna gloss over that Nex brought up a video game that wasn't Pokemon and was active in chat?
Yeah, that's
Like, that's just
just-
I've never been prouder.
taking our podcast to new heights where all 4 people are actually talking.
Now
Yep.
I want to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
So,
Do you have an arcade cabinet? Because I will drive to Pittsburgh if you have one. And,
I
play it.
have a Raspberry Pi and a garbage custom built 2-player arcade stick setup that I was running for a test of a eventual main cabinet build.
Well, we can all meet in State College and play at the Champs. in the
Yeah,
basement.
Champs has it downstairs. That's like the halfway point for us.
Yeah.
Box
Yep.
Boy and Box Girl. That's the next game on the list.
Actually,
Have
looks,
you guys played?
I've never played it, but it actually looks like fun.
I've heard of the game before. I have not actually played it myself, but it looks like a fun little puzzle game.
There's a weird amount of people I've seen that are super excited for like for a Box Boy game coming to Switch, and I don't get it.
It's a fun. I wouldn't. It's not something I get excited for, but if it's
No, like legit.
$15,
Like, I've seen YouTube
$20.
videos where they're talking about like what they were hoping to get out of this direct, and they're like, "Oh, I hope we see some news about Box Boy."
well, they got what they wished for, and it comes out April 26th with a new
Yeah.
2-player mode.
I mean, I
Box
really like
Boy,
puzzle
Box
games.
Girl, and Refrigerator Box DLC or something. So,
It was like Long Boy Box or something like
Long
that.
Boy, yeah.
Quaddy? I don't know. He's a rectangle instead of a box.
I like puzzle games, so I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a maybe
yeah.
from me.
That's definitely a perfect Switch game. Something that you can pick up, play a couple minutes of, put back down. You don't probably don't want to break your Pokemon catch combo for something like that.
I could
so
become a professional box boy gamer.
you need to get a third Switch so that you can play other games and not break your combos.
Well, at a certain point, your Pokemon Let's Go cartridge is going to turn into dust, so you're going to have to play something else.
It's gonna overheat because the Switch never gets turned off. It's always in sleep mode.
Next up, a completely unnecessary announcement. They said that version 3.0 of Smash Brothers is coming, and they're not going to say anything about it.
They said, Joker is coming, which we already knew.
By the end of April, which is way later than I expected him to be coming.
I wrote this down as my summary for Smash Brothers, and it was, I know you're all excited for Smash Brothers. Want details? Fuck off. Go buy some amiibos.
They did share some amiibo.
Amiibos too.
You gotta get those amiibos.
Wait, are amiibos still a thing? I thought they dropped.
Oh, very
those.
much so. No.
What is that? Waluigi?
I
No,
feel
they
like
still
discontinued something not too long ago, but maybe
literally every other Toys to Life brand in the history of.
I was thinking wasn't there like a Disney one or something like that?
Yeah, Disney Infinity went under.
I think Phil has a ton of those, doesn't he?
Amiibo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Amiibo's like, it feels like a black market Amiibo trader. He like buys the store out when he knows that one's rare.
I think Phil might have one of the cheater ones where the card reader has like every code on it.
Yeah, I mean you can very easily. Yeah. I mean you can put an NFC chip in anything, and if you have an NFC like injector, you can do whatever you want. I mean, I don't know that anybody that buys Amiibo for the actual thing that it does. I can probably count on one hand the amount of times I've scanned an Amiibo. Zelda. It was probably just Zelda for
Do you have to
drop it in.
Take them out of the box to do that?
Yeah, there's a little cover over
you can't
on the bottom.
Take it out of the box, man.
They're worthless regardless.
You can't take it out of the box.
My dog ate my Link one, and then my wife bought me a Japanese Link one. That one's still in the box over there.
Your term paper's still due tomorrow.
My dog is literally eating every single thing that I love. Look at my old cell. Look at this cell phone.
Not to cut in here.
That's still usable, man. That's still usable.
No, it doesn't work.
I have a related backstory. A buddy of mine bought a PSVR over the holiday break for a deep sale, and his dog chewed the cord to it.
Oh.
So he took it back to GameStop, and he's like, I don't know what happened to it. It's broken.
It just caught it. It's like it just stopped.
Back. And then he got his other one, and you know what else happened? The dog ate the cord again, and he took that one back. And you know what GameStop did before they almost went out of business? They took it back again. So he's on his third PSVR headset. He now puts it up a little higher than
that's a good idea. You know.
Yeah.
Fool me once. You can't fool me twice.
That's the thing about my buddy Christian. He's a dumb kid.
I hope he's watching.
I think if I was like 8 to 13 years old, I think I'd actually be really excited about that. The spaceship one where you like have the ship and you can connect the weapons to it and play.
You hold that thought, because we will touch that in like 2 or 3 things.
Next game. What's the next game?
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
I've never heard of this game, but Sarah seemed to really enjoy it.
It's
like just
so
watching
much
it.
fun.
It's a good game. Yeah, it's
one of those, like, either you're taking a shit, you got 10 minutes, or you just want to unwind and do mindless stuff for a couple.
So you're saying Captain Toad relaxes your butthole.
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Yep. There's no reason to have co-op. I can't see playing this with another person, because it's all dependent on how you spin the camera.
Well, is it going to be like a Portal? You know, where the second player, you need the second player to like progress through the map or whatever.
It does not seem like that.
Where you split up and get multiple toads, and you have to do like a hedge maze with both thumbsticks, but there's not really enough there for a 2-player. Or is that a paid DLC update that they?
Yeah, they're adding a couple more stages.
Yeah, I think the bundle's like $50, I think, for the game plus the new stuff.
So it's the one Wii U port that they didn't charge full price for, and then they added paid DLC.
It's
I'm on to you,
I-
Nintendo. I got you.
probably still not worth $50, but I'd pick that one up when it goes on sale.
$30 is a good price point for that.
Potentially, we have our first opportunity to raise an eyebrow from Steve. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night gets a new gameplay trailer, and they have a release window of summer 2019. Do you know anything about this game, Steve?
Yeah, no.
I thought it was Castlevania at first.
It is Castlevania.
Oh,
It's
okay.
from-
Well,
it's
that makes a lot more sense then.
Yeah, it's not Castlevania, but it's
Yes,
the people that
a
made
legally
Castlevania.
discernible Castlevania, but
Which
not Castlevania.
Castlevania, because that's what's gonna maybe get the eyebrow.
I don't know. A
Symphony
new,
of the
better
Night.
looking version Castlevania.
The one you like.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a long history of Castlevanias, and some of them are garbage, and some of them are great.
This-
So
this is-
saying
this would be
a
the
guy
good-
who made Castlevania, that's like great, like the guy who made fucking Rambo 7, or the guy who made one of the classic.
Actually,
ones.
you know, the chat can probably yell at me if I'm wrong here. I'm not actually sure if anybody from the actual Castlevania team was on it, but it's definitely people writing a love letter to the PlayStation Castlevania game.
Mm, I'm gonna reserve until I check it out because
They
I've
they
never-
released an 8-bit, like they had a stretch goal to release an 8-bit Castlevania-esque game, and it was very good. So I have full faith that they're going to be able to
It also came out before the game they were planning on making.
yeah,
It's
must
an appetizer to this game.
So I'm a generic fan of the Castlevania series just because when I was a kid, I played a shitload of Simon's Quest, which is like the very worst one, but it was the one I had, and I played it a ton, and I loved it, and I never beat it because I was too young and stupid to be able to.
I don't
figure
think
out this-
anybody's ever beaten that
Buy
game.
a Nintendo Power and go.
Yeah,
find out how to do it.
I had one of those cheat books that would like tell you what the entire map of the entire game looked like and what to do, but it wasn't until Symphony of the Night that I was like, oh no, this is really, really good. And then they never made one anywhere close to it. They made like a bunch of
The
mobile-
GBA
or not
games
mobile,
weren't
but,
bad.
uh,
The Game Boy
yeah, the
Advance
Game-
pads weren't that
Game
bad.
Boy Advance. They were okay, but they were always like missing that little secret ingredient that somehow
And it was the
Symphony
extra
tapped into.
buttons.
Yeah. So if they made a homage to the good ones, sure. If it's just like, oh yeah, this guy is like a
Have a look at it. It'll probably tickle your fancy quite nicely.
eh,
We have a lot more games to get through, and we're 45 minutes into this show, so let's keep trucking. Dragon Quest Builders 2,
Fun,
July 12th.
Minecraft with a point.
Is there a game that you won't play? You've been excited about
No,
literally
I
everything.
have a problem.
Wait,
well,
is Dragon
wait.
Quest Builders 1 on Steam?
Was this like the Stardew Valley clone that looked very similar to Stardew Valley?
No,
Dang.
it's the Minecraft clone, but then they added like quests and
Okay.
things to do.
One of these
There
games,
was-
I'm like, oh, this looks exactly like Stardew Valley, except you have to fight some stuff.
There was
Uh,
another game
you
that
do
had
fight
like
stuff in Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I know, but this is like a somewhat actual like fighting system, not just randomly swinging a sword.
then they moved on to Dragon Quest 11 and hung on it for entirely way too long. They must have talked about Dragon Quest 11 for 10 minutes of a 35-minute presentation.
It's such a good game, and I knew when I bought it for the PS4 that it was coming out on the Switch later in 2019. And I said, I'm gonna play it now. I'm 20 hours into it, and that's way too far in, not for the grand scheme of the game, but way too far in to play again on the way it probably should be played, which is in spurts handheld. So anybody who held out on the PS4 version or doesn't have a PS4, definitely worth picking up on the Switch.
I remember the reviews being pretty good with the game. Not so much for the story, but for the mechanics and whatnot.
Everything
so.
in that game is just charming. And I hate using that word for anything, but it's just like they put a lot of attention to detail. It like everything looks like it belongs there. It's just it's a fun time.
Game of the show, Disney Tsum Tsum
You guys
Festival.
want to see my Zoom Zoom tattoo?
I wouldn't be surprised if you like spun your camera up and you had a whole wall of them.
Buried in them. It's my embarrassing secret that just like half my house is these things. It looks like garbage.
Yeah,
Uninspired garbage.
I hate to like it. Just I don't want to just shit on it because if it wasn't just Disney Tsum Tsum, it looks like a fun little $10 puzzle game.
But how much of that game do you think is leaning on the fact that it's Disney, parents are going to buy it, and that's their audience?
But it doesn't look like it's pandering to kids. It looked like a game that a kid wouldn't want to play that much. It was a very strange reveal. I can't believe that they gave
away from Fortnite anyway. So
this has to have something to do with the fact that the people that made the Disney Tsum Tsum game for mobile just partnered with Nintendo to make Super Mario World, and they probably had to put something in here to fulfill a contract, because I can't believe that this got any time. Steve, you asked for it. Starlink Battle for Atlas is getting a free expansion with more Star Fox characters. This is the one that you said that you think your childhood you would have really liked to have.
I was going to say, I didn't say I would play it or I'd like it. Or this is like that. If I was younger, I'd think that was cool as shit. It's still pretty decent, but I'm not going to buy a system to buy pieces to play. That's what Magic is for.
I think it's funny that Nintendo essentially said, we really fucked up the last Star Fox game, so let's just let Ubisoft make it in another.
You know you had to have fucked up real bad for Nintendo to be self-aware about itself.
I want to go on a little tangent about Star Fox is one of my favorite game series. Star Fox 64 was one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. You can't make a game where you have to look at this screen and also that screen at the same time, and then also not be able to turn that feature off. It was very upsetting. It's probably the only game that you can get on a discount for Wii U. Everything else is hold its value, not Star Fox. So this is the next game I don't know anything about, but I feel like, Jeff, this seems like a Jeff-ass game. Rune Factory 4 Special coming to Switch.
Is it because it's little anime characters?
Yeah, yes.
I have absolutely zero interest in this game.
Okay, then we'll keep going unless you guys know what Rune Factory is.
It looks like anime Sims, and I was like, oh,
this is the Harvest Moon.
It's like this looks
looking
like
game.
A generic like Japanese RPG, and then they're like, but the decisions you make.
But you could get married in the game.
I'm like, I don't want to play this at all.
Dude, I thought they got to a point where he asked the girl like if he loved her, and then they were like right next to the bed. I'm like, are they really going to do this on a Nintendo Direct? But then they never actually sealed the deal.
You guys remember dating where they're like, do you like me? And then you have to like touch input yes or no, and then you get married in a weird farm village. Yeah, dating.
Yeah, well, high school.
if you want more, Rune Factory 5 has also been announced as being made. I know we're thrilled about that.
I feel like Rune Factory 5 is a game that we could legitimately ask them for a code with the amount of viewers we have on this podcast.
Maybe
like,
we're getting to the point.
Yeah, let's give them a key.
We're getting to the point now where I can almost with confidence go out there and start asking for game codes for review. So keep up the good work, Mex. You're doing all the hard work.
That's why he's too exhausted to talk on the podcast, because he's just been carrying this channel.
I know.
Oh man, it's Tokyo RPG Factory. This is the people that made I Am Setsuna and Lost Sphere. They're working on a game called Oni Naki.
I liked I Am Setsuna. It's the same graphical style. They've been pumping these kind of games out. I'd love it if they started doing North American physical copies, so I don't have to import from Japan. But yeah, I'll check it out.
They have some heavy hitters on the team. They had somebody from Nier Automata.
Also a fun time.
Weirdest
game I've ever played.
Yeah, that's one of my backlog right now. I picked it up in like a Steam sale for like no money, and I haven't installed it yet.
I played a lot of that. I was really into it, and then something else came along. I was like, I'll get back to it next week. And I came back like 2 months later, not a fucking clue what's going on. Sad robots.
Demo for Yoshi's Crafted World. I like the Yoshi games, but they're not something I would want to spend full price on. If that was a $20 game, I'd probably pick it up.
Looks like garbage. Next.
What are you talking about? It looks like garbage. Looks awesome. I mean, it literally looks like garbage. All right, here we go. Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yes.
Okay, you
Just
only
go,
get
just
5
go.
minutes. You only
Yeah.
get 5
No,
minutes.
no, give him 3.
I need. You know what? No. Next. I'm done.
Oh, he's done. Are you mad
I'm
that they
pissed
pushed
it's
it to?
July 26th.
Yeah.
I was hoping it'd be earlier in the year, but
Was the
we
fact
got plenty of months to talk about it in the future.
was the fact that you thought it was going to be September and it ended up being July? Did that ease the blow a little bit?
it did because last year, because they announced it early in the Switch's life cycle, and I was like, "Ooh, sweet! I get a brand new Fire Emblem game coming real soon." And then they're like, "Yeah, about that next year." It's like, fuck.
All right.
Yeah.
Now the banger, the absolute heavy hitter of the show. Every Nintendo Switch Online owner now has access to Tetris 99, which is essentially Tetris Battle Royale. Fired up first game, hit 17th, felt really good about myself. Max comes in chat and goes, "Oh, Sarah played 2 games. She got second."
Third, but yeah, like it's
third.
pretty insane. She's like some sort of savant with Tetris, I guess. Like I don't even know where this came from.
I look forward to fighting for that crown as soon as I beat this goddamn Wargroove level and download it.
That
That
that's
is my jam.
I know, like Nintendo had said that they were trying to bolster their online service and try to make it more value, and it might not seem like much, but Tetris 99 is something to keep me paying for. That's just a nice game to have. There's a lot of times where I'm sitting there like, I don't know what I want to play. Tetris 99 is going to be that game. That was Ding Dong XL for a while, but I feel like I've mastered that. Anybody play Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, it's gonna be trash on the
it's
the
good.
Switch. There's
It
not gonna
didn't-
be a
it-
big
it-
enough player base that's tethered to an internet connection to play it. It looks
They-
like a 3DS game upscaled to the Switch.
There has to be crossplay. There has to be crossplay.
If
Else
there
it's not
isn't,
going to work.
I mean, the servers. I doubt there's many people playing it now on PS4 or Xbox One.
It's usually pretty high up on the
Is
Twitch
it?
stream, like the Twitch charts, like
yeah.
usually top page.
Might be mixing it up with Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Friday the 13th
I've
was
watched
there.
people
They-
play that
they
before.
stopped.
Yeah, no, I've definitely seen it on Twitch. I don't know if it's like one big person, like carrying the viewers or whatever. I've never been bothered
not
enough
really.
to actually click on it.
Nah, I mean, there's one guy with 1.6K, and then the rest are floating in like the mid hundreds.
It's better
But
than
I mean,
us.
there's a lot. Yeah, they're doing much better than us. I just closed out my document, so I don't know where I was at. And then we got a Damon X Machina demo. I've been pretty intrigued about this one for a while now. It's like a mech fighting game, and that's what I was playing before we started. It's pretty fun. Controls pretty cool. I would recommend trying the demo out. It's free.
Now, for somebody who has zero interest in it going into it, would they be swayed by the demo?
No.
All
It's
right, I
sloppy.
will not be swayed by the demo.
No, it's
You found it. You found the one game I will not have behind me.
And it's free. Or at
it's
least the
free.
demo.
It's just the demo is free. It's you can tell it's a demo. That stuff's just not quite there. They do have like a really flushed out customization for a demo. Like you can change to like 15 different hairstyles and like change the color of everything and put tattoos all over your face and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, that might bring you in. We got a racing game, Grid Autosport. I don't think anybody that has access to any other console is going to play a racing game on a Switch. That's
Yeah.
not like Mario Kart.
Yeah, it still actually looks pretty good though, but we'll leave it at that.
It's not Q either.
What's that now?
They're trying to guess the last letter of the Steam key that I've
Oh,
Oh, is
slowly
that what you're
dropping in the
doing?
chat.
No, I was gonna ask like, what are you doing? But
he's giving out a free game,
I'm
man.
Okay.
having a stroke. Do you mind?
Very,
Is
very
that why
strange.
chat?
Very strange. Xbox owned Ninja Theory is releasing Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice on a non-Xbox console.
Pick it up, play it, wear a headset.
Wear headphones. Yep, it's
It's a good trip.
it was a really nice $40 game. I think brand new, well worth the money. Talking a lot about money in this
Real-
podcast.
real
Steve, you're like
high-quality
rubbing off
porn.
on me.
For what it is.
Have a child, have no money.
That doesn't sound like a fun game. I mean,
Oh,
it sounds
it's-
like a fun like intro, but like,
bar
like the
none,
middle of
the
the game, you
worst
gotta be
game I
back.
ever played.
After that, we came back to some more headlines and some quick hits. They reiterated that Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be on the Switch April 23rd. Very excited. Will not be buying. Will not be buying.
Will not be in it. Waluigi might be in it. I feel like he'd have better luck there than Smash.
That would be the ultimate just fuck you to the Smash community.
I would buy 12 copies of Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch.
Does Mortal Kombat have like a continuation story? Like, is there a story? Keep going.
Yeah,
like, where? Is there comic books or something?
No, they're in the games.
Oh,
yeah. They tell the story in the games.
Because I was gonna say, like, they said there's new characters coming out. I'm like, where are they finding these new characters?
Well, the hook in this one is that there's a time travel mechanic. There are people that can control time, and the new character that has time mechanics is pretty awesome because you can just rewind the game 5 seconds. Like if you get, somebody throws a combo at you and you mess up, like you can just rewind it back and start over again. It looks pretty interesting.
If you're playing Mortal Kombat for the story, you're doing it wrong.
No, dude.
To have over the top, just like bashing Sub-Zero's face.
I think you're wrong there. I mean, if you're gonna play one fighting game for the story, Mortal Kombat is the game to play. Maybe Injustice, but the NetherRealm games are amazing. Like
they're
the story's
just
great.
The reset button for the next game, though.
Yeah, the story is really, really good. And even if you're probably not going to take that online or not going to have fight nights with your friends, I think the single player in that game is good enough to warrant the price of entry.
I don't know if I'll pick it up on the Switch, though.
No, absolutely not.
Here's my conundrum: is Pro Controller would be fine. It'd be nice to take it on the go, but I'm not going to play that in handheld.
No, that's the main reason why I played Splatoon 2 while on vacation, because I did not take a controller with me, and I cannot play Smash on these things. That doesn't happen.
Am I the only one who went gray Joy-Cons?
Oh, I have gray ones too.
Okay.
Mine's one of each, so I got
Assassin's Creed 3 remaster. Nope. Nobody cares about Assassin's Creed 3 remaster.
Assassin's Creed 3. I have so many friggin' copies of that game on various systems, and I still don't give a shit what George Washington is up to.
Then we got a rock block of Square Enix. We got Final Fantasy VII. We got Final Fantasy IX out today. And
price on that?
We could probably look it up because it is out today. And we got Chocobo Mystery Dungeon coming on March 20th. People are excited about things. I'm not. Platinum Games.
About things.
Platinum Games. Actually, this is the one that had the Nier Automata guy working. I apologize. Their new game's called Astral Chain. It has something to do with being linked together with, something or other. It looked interesting.
They didn't really say much about it.
Yeah.
Did they hire you for their marketing department?
Yep. They had some veterans of Bayonetta and Nier Automata on the project, and they seem excited, and the internet seems pretty excited about it. As not a fan, or not that I'm not a fan, hasn't put enough time into Bayonetta and hasn't played Nier Automata yet. I have not been that excited about it.
I'm checking the pulse right now. Nobody seems to care about this game.
And then finally,
there's not much information for it, or
they showed a little trailer for it and just pretty much flashed a whole bunch of names that are supposed to get you excited that these people are working on the game.
And more information to follow.
Did it get more or less time than Dragon Quest Builders 2?
Dragon Quest Builders or Dragon Quest 11? Because 11 got a long time. Builder, it's probably around the same time as Builders.
Okay.
And then the one thing that I think is breaking the internet at the moment, we got a remake of The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
I had this game on Game Boy Color. It's the only game I beat other than the first Zelda game.
Podcast coming alive. I love it.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about it.
That's the one that Phil was freaking out about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, don't get me wrong. That was a good game. I also played it and beat it like you, Ryan, and it was fun, but I don't have such a heavy emotional attachment that I'm anything other than like, oh yeah, it's a good game. Yeah.
So it's not enough to get you to buy a Switch.
Also, I don't think the art style is going to be anything that's going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe it's kind of like chibi looking. That's not
the phone remakes of the Final Fantasy games.
It kind of it looks like a phone game. I mean, people seem to like it on the internet. I like that Zelda. They have all risks with the art style of Zelda, and I'll never fault them for trying something. Because I faulted
when they try different things with that.
Well, I faulted them very hard back in the GameCube era with Wind Waker. It was so like I was one of those people.
Still looks good today.
Oh yeah, I was one of those people that saw that tech demo they showed the year before they announced with Ganon and Link fighting each other, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever, man. This is the future. And then they brought out this cartoon bullshit. I was so mad because I was like 13 and didn't understand things. So yeah, I'm not going to fault Nintendo for trying something new with the Zelda franchise because I trust them.
Yeah.
So Steve, I expected a bigger reaction out of you there. That Phil said something in chat that intrigued you, and that fell completely flat.
Yeah, I was.
Well, there's playable
really,
Sam Fisher in it too.
The only thing that would have made it, I think, worthwhile, since I knew what the not the genre, but what the franchise was, probably like a Link to the Past remake.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they went, Link's Awakening remake. It's a pretty short game. That's why you guys beat it, because it wasn't that long.
Well, I mean, I don't want to disparage that game. It is good. It's a really good game, but it doesn't have a connection with me that like is blowing my goddamn socks off. I'm just like, no, that was a really good game. I'm happy it's being remade, but it's not like making me think about things I can sell in my house to buy a Switch and the game so I can play it.
What there's something that you were going to sell in your house, and I can't remember what it was because I was surprised. I was so blown away that you were excited about something. What was that? I don't remember anymore. You probably don't either. Yep.
The police got back to him and he realized he couldn't sell his child, so
yeah,
canceled that right away.
No, we were talking about something today, but I
see
don't
what
remember
it was. Remember.
It's
we'll
been
go to the footage.
A long goddamn day. Wait, was it today on here?
No,
or was it
no. I think it was only about 25 minutes ago. We're just getting old and our brains don't work good. So
I don't think so.
All in all, what did you guys think of the direct?
Bad.
I thought it was great. There was a lot of great games that were released. I mean, the show was fantastic, well produced. I don't give a fuck.
My favorite part about Nintendo Directs are watching Nintendo fanboys lose their shit in the days leading up to it. Like the hype about the proposed January Direct that didn't happen filled so many hours of my life just reading people like, I hope they do Wave Race. I hope they do a Diddy Kong Racing game. I hope they come out with this. And we get Box Boy and
Well, so I got a bingo card pulled up. Let's see if we hit anything. Nope.
There's no Pokemon content, so I was pretty let down.
No, so anybody that thought there
would be Pokemon, none of that.
Anybody that actually thought there was going to be Pokemon in there wasn't paying attention to the last like 5 Pokemon releases, because they do Pokemon Directs. They're just all Pokemon. That's a cornerstone franchise.
Would tease it now, get people losing their shit over it, and then maybe E3 that time of the year, get a little bit more, and then they do 4 or 5 directs that spoil everything in it, like the Smash lead up.
I'll be looking forward to those. Trust me, because I'll need a new game to play in the next 4 months.
You should live stream your reaction to the Pokemon Direct.
Oh yeah. We're definitely. I mean, that's the bread and butter of this channel. So we're definitely doing a live reaction of the Pokemon Direct stream. I mean, I thought. Go ahead, Dan. No, you go ahead.
You were asking me earlier today about, or actually a couple days ago, because I turned off all notifications for Discord. But you're asking me about Slime Rancher. Are you thinking about that, or did somebody recommend it?
No, yeah, Mayan told me I should play it. I just asked you if you thought it was good.
It's on Xbox Game Pass, I think.
Well, Steve has it, so I'm assuming you've played it, right?
Yeah,
I have it.
Yeah, I bought it when it was in close to release, but still early access, because I heard some good stuff about it, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. It's a pretty like chill sort of game, so you don't need to be like totally involved in it. But it's basically like you've got a research station where you kind of like build a farm, right? And then you can go out and try to hunt these slimes, and you basically just suck them up in a vacuum. And then you come back and drop them off in the cages, and you have to feed them, and they'll basically like shit diamonds of whatever type or color that they are. And you can sell those on a market, and the market fluctuates. So if you flood the market with like the basic ones, they're going to be worthless, and you need to go find like the more advanced like slimes. But the slimes will eat each other's poop and turn
As slimes
into,
do.
yeah, and they'll turn into other ones, so you can sort of breed them into specific weird ones. Or I think
Weirder than shit-eating slimes.
yeah, or if they
Wake up, Dan.
if they
See, the thing is, like when you said Slime Rancher, I thought you meant we're talking about Was it Monster Rancher? Was that the game that you had to put the audio CDs into your PlayStation to collect monsters with? Because that's the game you should play.
I
Get
have
all
no
the Britney
idea.
Spears, CDs. Am I the only, this happened? I didn't make this
Dun,
up,
dun,
right?
dun.
no, he's full of shit. Don't listen.
I
to
know
him.
No, they're-
exactly what he's
they're-
talking
Yeah, it was good.
about. I'll let
Yes,
them hang
thank
out
you,
on that one.
thank you. I knew you would know.
Of course.
Actually, I played a game that was almost exactly like that, except it was a knockoff, and it was about like dragons. And you'd put a CD in your PlayStation, and it would be like, "Here's a dragon for that, like, No Doubt CD you put in here. You grabbed from your brother." It was weird, but it was fun. But yeah, play
Hey.
Slime Rancher. It was
Play
a
Monster
really, really
Rancher.
good game. Fuck
All right.
Monster.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you played it and you thought it was good. So
Monster Rancher.
Yeah, it's had a bunch of updates since I played it, so it's only gotten better since then. But I think that would also be a good game to stream because you don't really need to get involved, even if it is like a first person you're walking around. You can definitely split your attention between a chat box and just rolling around because you're not generally in danger, and when you are, it's pretty easy to like avoid.
I absolutely would watch Mex raise a Tamagotchi on stream.
if you can
In the
find
chat.
one, I'll do that.
I'll find you a Tamagotchi.
I mean,
I'll
there's
hook that up.
Tamagotchi Life for, was it Wii?
No, I want
Tamagotchi.
an actual handheld Tamagotchi.
Do you have any idea how hard it is for me to mod one of those things to get video capture off of that?
Dude, I'll just put a camera and point it at it. What are you
We're
talking
not
about?
low quality like that around here.
The 4K
Ever
graphics
since
of
you
an
said that
1995
you wanted to
Tamagotchi.
start playing the old Pokemons, I've been trying to figure out a way to cheaply mod a.
No,
what
you
need
can.
to do?
You can. I was told you can pay somebody off eBay like $40 to get a capture card.
Oh,
put in
are
your
they
house.
down to $40 now?
Yeah.
Because they were like 250 the last time I looked
Yes,
at it.
No,
ones are stupid
That's what
expensive.
the other mod Dan and Cyclone were saying. Like
But
$40
they're-
on
you're-
eBay, they can pop in a capture card.
You
Well,
should get into the world of Pokemon ROM hacks and start playing those.
Pokemon speed running.
No,
No,
definitely
people
not
make
gonna do
their own
that.
Custom Pokemon games and put them out as ROMs.
Oh, like the randomizers, you mean? Or something different?
Something different.
All right, that's all the time we have this week. We
Oh,
have
real
no other
quick.
topics because. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Zero.
Just
Zero is the last number of that Steam key I've been leaking out all
I
chat.
really
Let
was
me know
wondering
it is,
what
I don't
the heck was
know
going
what it
on.
is.
He told you beforehand that's what
I
he's gonna
don't
do, and
listen
you
to
did
what he
not pay
says.
attention.
You were here for the pre-show. There's no excuse.
that's all the time we have this week. That was our only topic was the Nintendo Direct. We have other discussion points that we will talk about in future episodes.
Really.
We might actually even have a name next week. If you enjoyed what you heard and would like to watch the old episodes, you can catch them over on YouTube and also on just about every podcast service that I know of. All of our views are coming from some weird European podcast service. I don't know what that's about, but I appreciate it.
Pod.
Keep it up, my Dan.
For Steve and Mex and Jeff, we'll see you next week.